Welcome here to Talking Packers with Steve here, another Wednesday edition. Yes, I know there's a big thing going on in regards to WWE NXT show premiering on the USA Network, and when I'm watching it, I obviously have it on mute during the show, but I still want to have this show because I'm dedicated to talking about football and NFL on the time that I do like to have it at 7 o'clock Central, so NXT can deal with it. And I definitely can be watching it on mute and still enjoying it for what it is. It is the first time for me, though, in any capacity, watching NXT live or anyway. Because when it was on the WWE Network, I usually watch the day or days after. But enough about wrestling. Let's get into football. First, let's welcome our co-host, Becky. How are you doing today?
Doing all right. Could always be better, but at least I'm still here.
Okay. And our guest here, a partner of mine for the Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter challenge, the challenge game that just wrapped up the other day. Caleb, how you doing, Caleb?
Hey, Steven and Becky. Thanks for having me. I'm doing pretty well.
Anytime.
It's great to have you. And as we usually do, let's start with going through quickly. Going through with the week 2 matchups, the winners for each week from Thursday to Monday night. Buccaneers over the Panthers, 20-14. Ravens over the Cardinals, 23-17. Lions over Chargers, 13-10. Colts over the Titans in a close matchup, 19-17. Jacoby Brissett career high 3 touchdowns as starting quarterback of the Colts. 49ers over the Bengals, 41-17. In the surprise way, the 49ers are 2-0. Jacksonville Jaguars 12, Texans 13. Texans getting a 1-point win on the road. Packers over the Vikings, 21-16. A win is a win, but winning it that way could have done a lot better. Cowboys over Washington, 31-21. Dominant performance again by Mr. Dak Prescott there for the Denver Cowboys. Seahawks over
That
the
could have been a
Steelers.
lot better.
Yeah, Seahawks over the Steelers, 28-26. Ben Roethlisberger injured during the game with non-contact injury and going to be out for the year. Bills over the Giants, 28-14. Patriots over the Dolphins, 43-0. Chiefs over the Raiders, 28-10. Rams over the Saints, 27-9. Yeah, that rematch wasn't too much that, or at least not as close of a game than most expected it to be. The Bears over
Yeah,
the
there's some dodgy refereeing though, so
That's true. Denver Broncos losing at home to the Chicago Bears, the NFC North Chicago Bears, 16-14, 2-point win there by Chicago. Their kicker, Chicago actually having a kicker that can make a kick when he is called upon there. Pinheiro S. Dinero. Falcons over the Eagles, 24-20, and Monday Night Football, Browns over the Jets, 23-3. Let's open the floor first to our guest Caleb in regards to the Broncos. Close battle there and a loss at home against Chicago with Pinheiro being Dinero. What did you think about your team for this past week?
I like last year and the games before this, I was once again disappointed with the performance of my team. I understand now. I expected there to be a few roadblocks, a few speed bumps along the way with the new head coach coming into play. But what I've seen is just atrocious and absolutely unacceptable from our team, especially a home game, the first game. You should come out roaring, be fired up, and I just didn't see that from the team. And I thought Joe Flacco would be on fire. I mean, he played okay, but um, in my opinion, this it wasn't a good addition so far, at least from what I've seen. Um, I hardly saw any positives. I mean, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, they had a lot of trouble trying to get to the quarterback, and the only player who I saw that was playing like a star was the one I'm wearing on my jersey, number 10, Emmanuel Sanders. He's playing at the highest level, um, I would say, of his career, making plays. Got that touchdown at the um, not at the last minute, but near the end of the game. Drug his feet down for the score, and yeah, I just saw hardly any positives. But I guess the only positive was that our coach was aggressive there at the 2-point conversion, but unfortunately, our defense was playing sloppy and allowed that last-second field goal for the win for the Bears.
Now, since I do have you here talking about your Broncos, what was your expectations heading into the season when you heard that your Broncos acquired Flacco from Baltimore?
Hearing that, I had hope. Because, Flacco's won a Super Bowl before. He's been a star for the Ravens pretty consistently, wins for the Ravens. And then when he came here, I was like, yes, we needed that. We needed that position because we had struggled at quarterback for so long. And now I'm not really seeing anything I like. And, of course, it's only 2 games in to his first season. So there could be a learning curve there, especially with the new coach. But so far, I'm not pleased.
Understood. And I guess being talking about the Broncos, Becky, any thoughts or your thoughts from the outside looking in as a Cowboys fan of what you thought could be the Broncos with adding Joe Flacco and their good defense that they did have?
Well, Caleb saying that, he has won a Super Bowl. He also did have the league's best defense behind him. So, it wasn't exactly the Joe Flacco show. Honestly, I hate to say it, but they're kind of meeting expectations. Your run game isn't that great. Your D-line is a little weak. Hopefully they get better, but I'm thinking third place of the division, maybe even the basement.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree with you there. Third is very hopeful. Last is what I'm thinking is for the whole season, which is crazy to think because, a few years ago I was on my couch celebrating Super Bowl 50 win, but from there it just declined. And I got excited about Phillip Lindsay. He is a very strong running back, but our problem is the O-line. Our O-line is absolutely atrocious, and that makes the whole run game terrible, like Becky said. So, yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget in regards to Denver history, with Tim Tebow winning that playoff game against Pittsburgh. So we don't want to ever forget about Tebow and Tebow Magic there in the playoffs.
Can we not mention him now because he's messing up my baseball team's minor league system now?
And though, to be honest, in regards to this podcast, when we did our predictions for the whole entire season, that's why I have this with me. I had the Broncos in last place. I predicted them to be 5-11 for the season. So, unfortunately, just to be honest, to have this, with me, that's where I had them in regards to record-wise.
Yeah, obviously I'm a little biased. I had a little more hope for the team.
No, it's understandable.
Everything, but you're right. The expectations are being met, which is unfortunate. And I think right now Denver's going through also a cultural change. So like any football program that goes through a cultural change, there is going to be a very rough climb if you want to get to the top. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I've never really been the biggest supporter of Flacco. I kind of agree in regards to what Becky said in regards to Ravens having that great defense and kind of carrying Joe to the Super Bowl. Though him having those moments. But I think him just coming to Denver was just in regards to Ravens just wanting to move on from the Flacco era and go with their shiny new toy there.
Flacco does have a little bit of a tendency to be injury prone, so you might want to stave off your hope just a little bit more.
But then again, it's only 2 weeks. We never know how things will be going moving forward. For any of our teams. Just to talk about the Packers got a win, awesome, 2-0, great. But the way we've been winning in the games that we've had with my team, and nice to have a defense this time. That's why we're actually 2-0 instead of how bad we were last year record-wise and not making the playoffs. That's great, but we come off hot, 21-0, and literally, obviously, scoreboard-wise and playing-wise, do nothing. Defense falling apart at the seams as the Vikings are roaring back. Should have won it, but thanks to Cousins being an idiot, throwing that ball, we win the game. If he didn't, that was first down. That was first and goal. That wasn't like third and goal or something. That was first and goal when you threw that ball. Trying to be Fitzmagic over here. So, go ahead.
Here's my thing. I would rather win ugly than have a moral victory or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure Caleb would be begging to be 2-0 right now.
Oh, yes.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not making any digs here. I'm just saying with a third person here, I'm sure he would love to have a winning record right now. A W is a W, no matter how it looks.
That's true. Beggars can't be choosers. But I'm just trying to look at it in the sense of realistically, where as great as 2-0 is, that doesn't mean we're doing things the dominant some may perceive. We have a great Aaron Rodgers, but even Aaron Rodgers seems like he's the back half of his career. And I think in the next 2 years, if not 2 to 3 years, he should retire, and we should move on from Aaron. So, for now and what we have with Aaron and what we have left with Aaron, hopefully we can actually get something. Otherwise, we'll have 2 great quarterbacks in a row, each with 1 Super Bowl ring. So hopefully we can change that here in Green Bay. So, but then again, that's just how I become. I become
jaded.
Jaded, spoiled Packer fan for all my life, and I'm okay to call myself that because I have been lucky through all my life to have quarterbacks from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. So been lucky in the sense since the year of 1992, and having the 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back. But in that jaded sense, in that way, both we have great quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and 1 ring for a piece. So that in its own way is unfortunate. But
I'd rather have 1 ring than what Dallas has right now. We haven't had a ring since I was a preteen.
True, Denver has had 1 before Dallas in regards to sense.
Exactly.
But then again, back in the day, Dallas was cranking out Super Bowl wins.
Of course we do. We're America's team.
Yeah, I don't know about America's team. Don't want to get me started on America's team. America's team? I think that's either Green Bay or New England, but
yeah, don't get me started on New England. I'm a Patriots hater.
I'm from Connecticut and I hate the Patriots.
Good, as you should.
Billy actually said he wanted to come on here and talk about his Patriots, but we wouldn't end the show otherwise.
Hey, he's always welcome. But yeah, the Patriots. I respect the Patriots, and I definitely respect their greatness in regards to the Tom Brady era here, Brady Belichick era.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah, from the Packer fan perspective, again, like I said, being spoiled and lucky with what Green Bay has had, but seeing what New England has done with who they have, and respecting that. And I'm going to be honest, each and every year when the Patriots do make the Super Bowl, I'm actually picking and hoping New England wins. And I always do that. I've done that.
I don't know if we can work together anymore.
Maybe not from the start, but I know the last couple years, I know I have. I was actually a little bit annoyed that the Eagles won, but yeah. So I respect the Patriots and their dynasty, and it will have to end at some point. But again, maybe the dynasty will end the same year Rodgers retires, and that might be in 3 years. So we'll see how that goes for New England and how that goes with Aaron, how long he actually does stay or should keep playing. But anyways, before we ramble about the mighty New England Patriots, let's move on and head into talking about week number 3. Week number 3, and that week number 3 kicks off tomorrow night with the Tennessee Titans battling on the road in Jacksonville, facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we'll start with you, Becky. How do you see this Thursday night matchup going?
I like my Titans. I lived in Tennessee for 2 years, so they kind of have a special place in my heart. Not only that, but your Jags have been decimated a little bit, so I will take the Titans in a defensive game. I will say 10-7.
Okay, and for me, I'm gonna go with the Titans as well, because I want to go with the Jaguars. There's just too much of a mess there in Jacksonville. But you see a close game, 17-14, Tennessee over Jacksonville. And I will throw it to my guest if he wants to, Caleb, if you wish to. Predict to this game. You don't have to if you don't wish to, but I just wanted to share with you.
Sure.
Do you have any thoughts in regards to matchup?
Yeah, I mean, just based off on the play so far this year, I mean, looking back to week 1, the Titans absolutely destroyed the Browns, in which, I mean, I know the Browns have a reputation, but you've got to give it to them. The Browns have been getting substantially better, and people actually had some high expectations for the Browns this year. And the Titans have been on a roll, so I'm going to take Titans over Jaguars.
All right, moving right along. Heading into Sunday noon games. First, we'll go with, I think, the easiest one to predict. Maybe another blowout. Probably. We got the Miami Dolphins traveling to Dallas, facing Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and the Dallas Cowboys. We'll just make this simple. I assume we all are going to be going with Dallas here. The question just may be, how much, or will the Dolphins score a point?
That should be the pick, whether they are or they aren't.
I'm going to go with they score 1 field goal.
Okay. Becky?
Yeah, Dallas got to give them 1 for showing up, so yeah, they'll score. But I think Dallas wins big. Hopefully bigger than New England, so that way I can be ha-ha.
Yeah, and I say they don't. I see it's kind of the same way as New England. You know, New England didn't give them anything for showing up, so I don't see Dallas doing that either. So I have, as we all do in the routes, but another goose egg there for that team. Or for Miami. I mean, moving right along, we have the Cincinnati Bengals and the 2-0. The 2-0 Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Hold on there.
I pushed the button, bad Becky.
It's okay. It happens. Here are the Bengals and the Bills. Becky, how do you see this matchup going in Buffalo with the 2-0 Buffalo Bills?
3-0. I have no respect for the Bengals whatsoever. I feel bad for Andy Dalton because he is a quality quarterback, but that team in Cincy is just a mess. I'll say 21-7.
Caleb?
I mean, the Bills are also on a roll. Bengals disappoint me. I'm going to go with the Bills over the Bengals.
And same here. I concur. Make it 3 in a row. I'm going with the Bills over the Bengals, 24-3. Bills over Bengals, 24-3 in a route win to prove the 3-0 and kind of slowly show the NFL that the Bills are here and for real.
How do you about all that?
Being 3-0. Hey, we have technically will continue to be tied with New England at the top of the division. So
I still don't know all about all that. I mean, what do they really have to speak of? Have they really beaten any quality opponents yet?
that's not yet.
Um,
Our record does not show what the team is. That's true.
exactly.
But
When they beat a quality opponent, when they beat, I can't even, if they beat like a Kansas City or something, then I'll be impressed.
right, or if they win their divisional games against New England or any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get Jameen there. Excuse me. Oh, there he is.
Ah,
Sorry,
We're playing
couldn't hear you again, Becky. Had to leave. Come back in.
Caleb.
Well, I was gonna say here on the display we're playing musical chairs here in regards to
Our
people are
position.
yeah. But anyways, let's move on. Let's head on to the Lions versus the Eagles in Philadelphia, Detroit versus Philadelphia, and that matchup there. This time we'll start with Caleb. Your thoughts on this game in Philly?
This one for me, I think it's gonna be a little bit closer. I think this one's honestly a toss-up for me, but I think the Eagles pull this one off. I just can't. I mean, thinking back to week 2, the Lions did beat the Chargers, but week 1 when I think they tied with the Cardinals. Week one, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, I just can't. After that performance, I just can't see them winning. So I think I'm going to take the Eagles in this one.
Okay, Becky.
I like Philly, 24-21.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Philadelphia as well. But before I give my score, Detroit should have lost that Week 1 game, but the interception that should have been, and then kicking a field goal there in overtime. So Arizona kind of need that game away. They could have won it, but still, I'm going with Philadelphia over Detroit. 27-17, my final for that one there. The next one, another one that could be a blowout, could be close. You never know. Probably not. We got the Jets versus the Patriots in New England against Billy's New York Jets. Patriots. Billy's New England Patriots facing off against the Jets in New England. Caleb, what say you here with the Jets against the Patriots with a third-string quarterback starting for the Jets?
I mean, I just can't. It's going to be a blowout. I have to take, as much as I hate it, the Patriots are just absolutely going to whoop up on the Jets. You get down to the third-string quarterback, and plus, you're the Jets already, so I'm sorry, any Jets fans out there, there's no hope for you this week. Just go home, sell your tickets. You're in for a long one.
Becky?
Where is this? Is it at MetLife or is it?
It's in New England. Gillette.
Okay, at Gillette. Yeah. Lots of musket fire going off. If the Pats don't hang at least 50 on them, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, they might even do what they did last week.
It
was a 43-0 over Miami.
That's the last thing I need. I've got enough family members and friends in New England. Just see what happened. Love you guys.
And now that they have Antonio Brown actually playing.
Don't get me started.
Who would have
think? I was about to say, don't get me started on that one.
Antonio Brown actually wants to play with the team and actually playing here in the 2019 season. So there you go. Though he does have. Go
ahead. He doesn't want to tell anybody about rape charges.
I was just going to say that. He does have that situation going on. But I'm going to go with New England over the Jets. 35-0, getting the win there. They won't improve from what was last week with 43. But still 35-0 in New England over New York in that matchup. Next one, the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Indianapolis, Indiana to face the Indianapolis Colts and Jacoby Brissett there. I'll go first for this one. I'm going to go with I guess you call it semi-upset. I don't believe too much in regards to the Atlanta Falcons, though they did kind of save their season with the win this past week. But I'm going with the Colts on the upside. The Colts over the Falcons, 23-20, the win there. I'm going to go to Becky. What say you?
I like the Falcons, and I like Natty Ice. And I'll go 24-21.
Caleb?
And I'm kind of on the same train as you, Steven. I think everyone expects the Falcons to win this one. But I think the Colts are going to take home the W.
Excuse me. I'm moving right along.
Sucked last week. I was going to say, don't go with me because my picks sucked last week.
Well, I'm not a genius either. But anyways, moving right along, the Oakland Raiders going to Minneapolis, Minnesota to face the Minnesota Vikings. In that battle, I'll go first here again. I'll go with the Vikings to win at home. Yes, as a Packer fan, it hurts me to say that, but that'll also be realistic in regards. But I'm going with the Vikings over the Raiders, 35-13. Minnesota bouncing back after the loss in Green Bay, which they should have won there. So I'm going Vikings over the Raiders. Caleb, what say you?
I'm also going to go with the Vikings over the Raiders. Vikings are looking pretty good this year. Now, if it was Raiders at home, I might tell a different story there, just because the Raiders are fired up this year. Of course, it's their last year in their home stadium, and they want to pull out every win they can get, as you saw with that unfortunate Broncos game in Week 1. But yeah, and this one though, I'm going with Vikings.
Becky?
As much as my other half, is disappointed I'm making this pick, I like Minnesota. If I had to do a score, I don't know, 24-14.
I'm moving right along to a game that, at least on the radar in regards to game of the week, Ravens battling the Chiefs in Kansas City. Both showing out in the past couple of weeks. The first 2 games of the season, being 2-0. I'll let Caleb go first here for this matchup. How do you see it there in Kansas City?
You know, the Chiefs are scary. They are terrifying. They have Patrick Mahomes, who is a wizard. I don't know how he makes some of the throws he does, but he does. I actually went to see him last year, very last game, Broncos versus Chiefs, and I just sat there like this saying, he is going to absolutely crush it next year. And all my tears froze from the cold weather, but there was that. And I really do think the Chiefs are able to contend with the Patriots this year for the top of the AFC. So I can't pick the Ravens in this one. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Becky?
I don't know if you've been reading my notes or what's the deal, pal, but no, Chiefs all the way. I don't even want to pick and score. It'll be that close. It'll be that razor thin, but the Chiefs are amazing. It's like watching a video game.
It's pretty aggressive, and I know a lot of people are saying that the odds are pretty high for him to win back-to-back MVPs. So we'll see how that goes for him individually, let alone for his team. But as regards to the game, I'm going with the Chiefs to get the win over the Ravens. A close game as well, but also sure, I see this going high-scoring octane offenses, battling back and forth. Chiefs defense improved a little bit, but still have their holes and issues. As great as the Chiefs are as a whole, total with Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes doesn't play defense. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs over the Ravens, 36-32, final score, getting the win, close matchup there. The Ravens proving something, even in a loss there in that battle. And moving right along to, personally, the game of the week. We got the Denver Broncos traveling to Lambeau Field. Not exactly the frozen tundra yet, but still Lambeau Field. Here in mid-September, battling the Green Bay Packers. So we'll just throw it to Caleb first with regards to his team. How do you see your team doing in Green Bay?
Your main team.
I mean, you already heard my thoughts on how my team's doing. Obviously, I'm hoping for a bounce back. I'm hoping that they take care of business in Lambeau, but it's just my hope is dwindling such far, and I'm a fan, but I'm also not stupid. And I'm going to have to pick the Packers in this one, unfortunately, over the Broncos. I'm sorry, Broncos. Love you still.
I don't know. Maybe with you being on camera, talk about here on YouTube, maybe they'll pull up the upset and get the win. But for me, I'm going with the Packers as well.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm going with the Packers getting the win over the Broncos, 35-13. Getting the win in Green Bay pretty convincingly, and I'm moving on forward. Becky, what say you?
I love you, Caleb. You're adorable, but you can hope in one hand and wrap in the other and see which one fills up first. Happens all the way.
Oof.
And it hurts me to say that. What you guys have done to Dallas.
Next matchup, we have the Carolina Panthers facing up against the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. I'll go first here. I have the Cardinals over the Panthers. Arizona to get the win 17-10. Excuse me, 17-10 Arizona over Carolina. Caleb, what say you?
I mean, I say the same thing. I think the Panthers have also been one of the teams this year that has pretty well disappointed me. I mean, I don't know what went on. It's like a switch turned off in their mind, and all of a sudden you go to a playoff contending team to just looking. I'm gonna have, and I mean the Cardinals are too, but I'm gonna have to go with the Cardinals in this one over the Panthers.
Becky?
I'm gonna have to go with the Cards. I mean, you've got your star quarterback looking like an old Southern grandmother at press conferences. The coach is probably already looking for a new job. I mean, it is not Carolina's year this year.
It's going to be crazy to think they're going to be 0-3 if this happens, if this holds up, and they lose down the road. You know, how they are. And with the quarterback that they have, Cam Newton, and, I'm sure Panther fans, and I know a couple of them, their expectations heading into the season to what it is going to be 3 weeks after they are 0-3. But it is what it is. Unfortunately for the Carolina Panthers, what could be. The New York Giants facing off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Giants going to have a new person at the helm, Daniel Jones, stepping in for Eli Manning, now officially named the starter of the New York Football Giants. I'll go first here. I got the Buccaneers over the Giants in a close game. Showing stuff. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay over New York, 24-17. Tampa Bay over New York. Becky, what say you?
I actually like the Giants. I liked how the kid looked in preseason. And he's a hell of a lot better than Eli. So I've got the Giants, I'll say 17-14.
Caleb?
This one is I was on the fence about this one, but I think I'm gonna have to take the Bucks for the Giants, just based on the past performance of first 2 weeks.
Moving right along, same thing as the Seahawks. New Orleans against Seattle in Seattle. I'll go first here. I have the Seahawks getting the win at home over New Orleans. Drew Brees out for 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. But either way, he won't be here for this game, of course. So I'm going Seattle over New Orleans 27-13 in that matchup. Caleb, what do you think is going to go down?
I'm also picking Seattle over the Saints. It's unfortunate what happened to Drew Brees, and I don't think they can get it done without, unfortunately. I'll have to go with the Hawks.
Becky?
Seahawks, because that Saints game against LA was a complete debacle, a complete cluster.
Moving right along, Houston Texans against the Los Angeles Chargers in LA. Becky, I'll let you go first here. How do you see things going down in LA?
I've got the Chargers. Past performance, predicting future results. 21-17.
Caleb?
I've also got the Chargers. This should be a good AFC matchup. I think one of the most underrated teams in the AFC to be competing this year is the Chargers. I don't think Texans will be able to get it done. So, going to have to go with the Lightning Bolts.
I'm going to go with the Lightning Bolts as well, the LA Chargers. Getting the win against the Houston Texans, 24-13, and that'll be my final score prediction for that one. Moving on, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers against the 49ers. We got Ben Roethlisberger, who is out for the year. We have the 49ers 2-0, just like the Bills, surprising me. I sent out that tweet on my personal handle of how crazy our world it is that we have the 49ers and the Bills 2-0 and could be 3-0 after week 3 if they do win their games. But for this game, I'll go first here. I got the 49ers over the Steelers, 13-10 win. But the 49ers getting the win and moving on to be 3-0. Caleb, how do you see it going down in San Francisco?
I never thought I'd say 49ers over Steelers, but here I am saying 49ers over Steelers. Losing Big Ben. They don't have Antonio Brown this year, obviously. I think they
Or
were
Le'Veon Bell.
they were at the top of their game last year, and I think this year they're going to take a big hit. So 49ers.
Becky?
My brother Steven would love this pick. Niners. I don't even think it'd be close.
Rams over the Browns for Sunday Night Football on NBC, a game that was, highly hyped with the Browns being what we didn't think they were, then be what we thought they were in regards to with Week 1 getting destroyed, losing by 30 points to the Tennessee Titans. And yes, they got a win in Week 2 in Monday Night Football against the Jets, but not looking as smooth as I thought they would, or dominating as well as I thought personally they would. Now they have to be at home against the Rams. Definitely a tough task facing the LA Rams, the defending NFC champions. But for me, I'm going to go with the Rams over the Browns, 26-13, getting the win on the road. And unfortunately, the Browns being the Browns. Caleb, how do you see going down in Cleveland?
I'm actually going to take the Browns on this one. I think they throw in a little surprise this game. I think something clicks. I would never root for the Browns because I'm a Texas Longhorn alumni, and Baker Mayfield, obviously OU, so OU sucks all the time. But I think this week is gonna Browns get the upset.
Becky?
Sad day in the dog pound. Rams by 30.
Oof.
There you go. And the Monday Night Football game, we got the Chicago Bears traveling to Washington to face Washington. There in that matchup, I'll let Caleb go first. How do you see that one going down?
Bears are struggling. I mean, last week, Broncos were playing their absolute worst game, and the Bears were playing their absolute worst. I mean, not their absolute worst because they obviously beat us, but it was barely enough to. So I've got the Redskins. There's no way I see the Bears winning this one.
Becky?
I've got the Skins. I think it's going to be – I don't think it's going to be a blowout because I still think the Bears have that defense. They need to be using Mac a heck of a lot more than they do. But, yeah, I've got the Skins.
Well, for me, I got Washington as well. Washington getting the win over Chicago, 17-13, shit like that. But still, in the end, Washington getting the win over Chicago. They're at home for that matchup. Let's go for everybody's picks for their personal game of the week. And we'll start with our guest, Broncos fan, Caleb.
I like Texans and Chargers. I really think that's going to be a good AFC matchup. Obviously, it'll have future implications. I think Chargers are hungry this year, and as always in this matchup, it's a good one. So that's my game of the week.
All right. Becky, Cowboys fan, what game do you pick?
I actually like the Raiders and the Vikings.
Any reasons for that, or just?
I mean, I just think it's going to be an entertaining game.
Okay. For me, it's Packers fan representative. For me, I have the Ravens-Chiefs matchup. Ravens-Chiefs matchup as the game. There we go. Game of the week. I would picking the Chiefs for the win, but that game I just think is going to be heavy hitting. Is even as I predicted, high scoring, a fair, close game. The Chiefs getting the win at the end. But with Caleb here, just kind of put him on the spot. What say you? What would be officially the state on the record here for all the world to know here on YouTube? Your prediction, Caleb's prediction for the Super Bowl. Who do you see in the game, and who do you see winning?
Oh man! All right, Super Bowl pick. Woo! That one's definitely put me on the spot, but
no pressure, buddy.
I mean, for the AFC, I'm actually going to go with the Chiefs. I think this year they can pull it off against the Patriots. So I think they take that top AFC spot, and that's also a little bit of me crossing my fingers and just hoping that the Patriots don't get in. But I really do think that they can pull it off. As for the NFC, man, I don't know about this one. I might just have to throw in the towel and go with the Rams, just because they're the defending champions, and
That
I think
hurts.
they have a good season. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry to the
No, you're
Cowboys.
not. No, you're not.
I'm not. I'm really not. But yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs, Rams. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs to win it.
All right.
Thank God. At least I'll be able to sleep that night.
Yeah, I just think if Patriots win it again.
Oh, dear God. I haven't eaten yet. You trying to throw me off food?
But yeah. Oh, just to share to Caleb regarding to my Super Bowl stuff, I have the Rams over the Patriots getting the win in the Super Bowl 35-27, but New England making it there. So at least that's all I have from the.
Ours pretty close. I almost put the Patriots in there, but I think the Chiefs get it.
No, that's fine. Yeah, they definitely. They could have won it last year in the AFC title game against New England. So
Yeah.
What say
Yeah,
they can't.
rude.
Mm-hmm. Either way, New England won. So, but anyways, thanks, Caleb, for being here and being our guest for this week. Hopefully, in the future, we can have a fatal four-way in a sense of have Billy here. Maybe Caleb could make it. We could talk Broncos, Patriots. We got Broncos, Patriots, Packers, and Cowboys. 2 from the NFC, 2 from the AFC. So
that'd be a lively discussion.
I'm sure with you add Billy, it's going to be a long episode. So it's going to be over an hour for sure. But
Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I will call him next week.
I'm not scared. But okay. But anyway,
That's a joke.
nah, he's an awesome guy. But anyways, before we go, we'll let you guys. I'll let Becky promote her stuff, social media and otherwise, and for Caleb as well. Any other last words you wish to share? Your team, football, whatever else you want to get off your chest before we go, and then we better do. We'll start with our guest, Caleb.
Yeah. Well, once again, thank y'all for having me as a guest on the show. It was fun talking some football. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at CalebP_24. That's my Twitter handle. Hopefully you'll find me interesting and fun. And other than that, I'll say go Broncos.
Becky.
You can find me on Twitter at PokerLady718. You can find me on Instagram at ROTCBrat718. You can find me as a Twitch mod for the former Lucha Underground champion, Marty the Moth Casaus. Come by, say hi. We don't bite unless you ask us to. Go Cowboys.
You can, of course, find the podcast on Twitter at Talking_Packers. Go to Facebook and just search Talking Packers with Steve and join the group there with the fan page. Welcome to follow me also personally on Twitter at Army_Strong_06. Of course, subscribe to the channel. Let people know about it. Also, welcome to ring the bell. So the next time I go live with another video, as I always now, using StreamYard. I thank StreamYard for being here because after Google Hangouts ending their relationship or partnership with YouTube, finding another streaming site. So thanks to that random stranger on Twitter. Twitter can be used for good. For helping me out and telling me about StreamYard. Now my new home for the Sports Talk Network. But I thank all that watched live that did stop by, and those that will be watching archived. Hope everybody have a great rest of your day. Football coming up for your team, and hopefully all is well. In regards to the games for your team, as you cheer them on during the week and the weekend. Above all else, as always, take care.